now that we have our DEM located and right where it needs to be, as well as clipped out to the shape, we can now begin to run different types of analysis on this within our toolbox. So I'm going to pen our toolbox. I'm going to close our catalog. So in our toolbox, I'm going to want to go to our spatial analyst tools. In here, we want to go first to surface. Within here, we are able now to conduct different analysis on our surface to give us additional information. So the first one I'm going to explore is the hillshade. I'm going to double click hillshade. I'm just going to click our DEM watershed. I'm just going to save it out to my layers. I'm just going to call it hillshade _01. Hit save. And here we're able to change the azimuth and the altitude. And you can explore these values and getting a different map each time. You can also look online to learn more about what each of these means, and you can get a little bit of information here. But ideally, you just want one that's going to work best for you and whatever you're trying to accomplish. I'm going to type in 250 and 20. And I'm going to leave the Z factor as 1. And I'm going to click on the model shadows. So here it'll let me know that the output shadow raster considers both local illumination angles. And so I'm going to hit OK. Let's see what happens. And so this is what we're left with. Tries to shade the hill based on that azimuth and altitude, which is related to the sun. And so we can then, if we don't like this, we can remove it, then open up our catalog, refresh, and then just come over here and then delete that if we don't like it, and then we can do it again. So I can come back over to our toolbox, double click hillshade, DEM watershed, hillshade 01, save, and then this time I'm going to try 160 and leave it at 45. And as you can see, as you kind of try these different ones, this one actually looks like everything's been inverted. Everything that's actually low looks like that it's actually been extruded higher. And so this is a great tool to kind of add to your base map if you like, to kind of add some depth and some more texture to a base map to make it look more real, to get people a sense of actually what's happening on the ground. The next tool that we will be using is our slope tool. Just double click here. Once again, I'm just going to input the raster. Actually, I'm going to input the DEM, not the hillshade. Save it. Call it slope. Hit save. Set to degrees here. I'm just going to hit OK. And so now what I'm looking at, it's a map of the DEM and the locations of all the slope percentages here. And so what we can see is we can see areas that are extremely steep, which you can see right here, to areas that are much less steep, which are in these darker green areas, which are, you could say, potentially are in the high parts or the low parts, but very flat. So this is a nice way of actually seeing potentially how things are moving, where are the critical areas potentially, and the areas of issue. So finally, what we're going to do is we're going to do a viewshed analysis. The first step in this is we're going to have to identify a point on our map where we want to establish to do the viewshed analysis from. So since I'm going to create a new layer, GIS, or in our catalog, right click the folder, come down here, new shapefile, leave it a point I'm just going to call it viewshed point. Hit OK. Hit OK. That added it. I'm going to start editor here. I'm going to click viewshed point. Next, I'll click the create feature button, and I'll highlight the viewshed here, and I'll make sure point is activated, and then I'll come in here and I'll just click a point. I'll just click right there. I'll save my edits. And then I'll stop editing. So now I have a reference point from where a viewer would be standing. So I'm going to click my viewshed analysis tool. So I'm going to input raster. It's going to be our dim. So I'm going to import the viewshed. And I'm just going to type in viewshed as my file name. I'm going to leave all this. Hit OK. So that just didn't work. So I deleted the viewshed layer. So actually what I did wrong is I needed to establish a projection for that layer when I created our coordinate system that matches this. And so since I have set this already, I know what that is. So I'm going to File, click New, come over here, New Shapefile, Point, once again, viewshed. And now I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to click, and if I have mine saved under favorites, but if you don't, go down to projected and then find this coordinate. Hit OK. Hit OK. And that's added. Once again, I'll start editing. Edit my viewshed. Click my create features. Highlight viewshed. Click this, and now put a dot. Once I have one dot down, I'm good with that. Save my edits. Stop editing. And now I'm going to double click viewshed. Now within here, I'm going to add my dim watershed. And I'm going to add my viewshed. And I'm going to save this as viewshed 01. Hit OK. And what the result of this is it's showing us now in green what would be visible from this point of location based on the topography in between, and then what wouldn't be visible. So these tools can be really helpful in conducting really good analysis of the site.